right, grasshoppers. It is Thursday morning, and as promised, we're going to keep the schedule. Thursday morning, 10 o'clock. How's everybody doing? Well, nobody's doing right now. Big zero up there. Nobody listening or watching. So, Mr. Fitness thinks that he's invulnerable, right? Tom Laidlaw. Invulnerable? Yeah, invulnerable. And so woke up, went to the Pride Parade on Sunday. Actually, that's a classic event. Those people have a blast. Deb, how are you doing, you magical creature? There you are. And another magical creature, two of the all-time best are here. Barry Shelley, how are you guys doing? So you know me, I get a little, I guess let's say cocky sometimes, right? I think I get just invincible. So woke up Monday morning feeling like, and I am, Mimsy, how are you doing there? The magical creatures are getting on here today. So woke up Monday morning thinking Danny Erickson, well, see, it depends on the mood that Danny Erickson's in, whether he's a magical creature or not, but hello, big guy. That's a good start. So, all right. Dougie Vito, Sir, Lorraine, how are you doing? Yes, Deb, the Pride Parade was, as the old stubborn old farm boy, you go to a gay Pride Parade and you think, oh God, this is going to be scary. But you know what? They care less about me. They're having a blast. And the streets of Manhattan were packed. It's a very interesting event to go to because you see how much it means to them that those people and those people, that's the wrong way of saying it. That group, this just means so much to them that they have a blast out there. Like I said, they're not worried about people like me. They care less. They're having fun. Even taking the train in from in the city, the train was packed with people. So, yes, that's right, Barry. You're smelling the smoke again. Yes. See, that's the thing about Canadians. Canadians are givers, and so they have smoke, so they want to share it with people, their neighbors to the south. So, we haven't got any smoke down here yet. I think we're going to get it from what they're saying. So, looking forward to that. So I get back from the parade on Sunday night. Yes, Deb, you're correct. Yeah, you're right. We can't just slough that off. That was, everyone's happy. They're just, and what I like to is they could care less what anybody thinks. They're going to wear what they want to wear. And you really kind of admire like they're and things like just all out. There's no hiding or pretending or like that. This is what I am, who I am, and I am showing it. So you got to admire those people. All right, so I get home Sunday night. I'm feeling a little bit off. I'm feeling like, no big deal. I'm superhuman, right? I can't be hurt. Wake up Sunday morning, and I haven't thrown up in years. And all of a sudden, I'm walking towards the bathroom, thinking, "What is going on?" Like it was the worst that I think I got food poisoning. I don't know how I got it, but the worst part was like, the insult. Like, how could I get food poisoning? It's just like the ego is kicking in. And oh man, I had 3 days. So today, that was Monday morning. It wasn't until late yesterday that I really was feeling better. So it was kind of interesting. I was so mad. Like, what? How can I dare get food poisoning? That's ridiculous. I like that our team stays together. Barry saying morning to Deb and Deb saying morning to Barry. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Who said Deb saying good morning to Linda? Hi, Linda. Gresh's sister, Linda? That Linda? I think Gresh was just up in Canada there too, celebrating. I think it was their anniversary or something. Linda's anniversary or whatever. So it's cool. So yes, good job, Deb. Deb's a fantastic human. You guys all are fantastic humans. Seriously, everybody that follows this show regularly all sticks together, pulls for each other. That's fantastic. I like that. So I started feeling better later yesterday. Went down to the city. We had the Rangers do a lot of great things. Companies like Caesar spends a lot of money. So Rangers put on a dinner last night at Tao downtown, the Tao restaurant downtown Manhattan. They had about 11, Caesar's clients, and they had 4 of us there. Latrell Sprewell, John Wallace, myself, and Colton Orr were all there. We had dinner together. Fun. It's always a fun time because the cocktails get flowing. Everybody's having fun telling old stories. Colton Orr was there telling the story. He's like his hands are all mangled from fighting all the time. So he tells a story about how he was fighting this Matt Karkner from Toronto. They fought pretty much every game, and it was they both won. They had 2 fights, and now it's the 5th fight. And Colton won the fight, so he's trying to go around skating around, putting the 3 fingers up, like that he won. But his hands are all mangled so much he can only do this. So he's going. Everybody's trying to figure out what the heck is he doing. And he tells the story great too. So he was there. He was there with his beautiful wife, Sabrina, total sweetheart. Colton actually, I knew he was teaching this year, but where he lives up in Brewster, he's got 3 children. I think 2 of them are school age now, I think. And they didn't have a gym teacher for their school. And I had heard that he was teaching gym, but I didn't know why he was doing it. It's like, because he's bored or something. But he stopped. I think his wife Sabrina actually volunteered him and said, "Listen, our kids are having a school teacher, a gym teacher." So, so he volunteered to do it. So it's good, very cool. I think that's a great experience for him and the kids. Do you eat hot dogs? No, I don't eat hot dogs. Susan, what is? Oh my God, I can't believe you asked that question. No hot dogs. I don't know what I had. Because it was like it said when I got home Sunday night, it just started feeling a little queasy. And then when I got up in the morning, I was like, what the heck is going on? I thought like Niagara Falls was coming out of my butt too. It's like, oh my God. I can get a little graphic for you guys if you want. It's up to you if you want to ask questions about how it all happened. That'd be good. Barry Shelley. Yeah, well, Tom Smith will be doing that. We have some interesting guests coming on. Again, you're both great together. Yeah, he's pretty entertaining. Likes to pick on me. I let him pick on me. Yeah, Lorraine, you're right. It's just it lasted for 72 hours, though. That was my issue. I agreed to it. Okay, this is gonna be over in one day, and that's it. I think it's more just a lingering. You know, when you get drained, you get nothing in your body, you're just drained and everything too. So, actually, you know, one of the things that really helped me, somebody recommended, was a ginger tea, and that really helped you. Yeah, you gotta go over that. See, that's important stuff. You know, we haven't had Tracy Marie. She hasn't joined us recently. So I saw a video of some woman explaining how to poop properly. So, of course, I sent it to Tracy Marie. See if she can get better back in the show. But just eat plain rice. Yeah, just eat plain rice binds you up if you. I agree, but don't you think it's almost like you want to get whatever's inside of you? Obviously, your body's trying to get it out, right? So I'm thinking, okay, let it all get out first. And then I was big into those saltine crackers. I made my own chicken noodle soup. That helped. But the ginger tea, who mentioned it here? Yes, Lorraine, it was excellent. So, and again, I think I was near the end of the whole process. But the ginger tea really made a difference. Ginger tea, I got some hydration packs from Costco. Mix those up. Man, it's a mental, like how I'm thinking to myself, well, how can I get sick? This is outrageous. What is going on? Let me see, Danny. See what's going on. Speaking of school, my daughter took her math regents and they lost her exam. They lost her exam. Well, they should just give her an A. That's not her fault. That's incompetence on their part. So that's kind of. So she goes all the trouble to do the test. I'm sure there's anxiety involved in that, right? Leading up to it and everything. And then they come back to her and say, we lost it. How do you lose the test? Goodness. We should get on that. Let's go to the school. Let's call the school out there and demand a straight A. That's it. She should just get A. That's it. You guys messed up. It's not her fault. Oh, let me see. Wrong. That happened to me in April. I could not figure out what happened to me. And I made and mine lasted for 3 days. Well, you know what, Lorraine? It's interesting. I've talked to a few people. Actually, Glenn Healy, who former teammate, former New York Ranger. We played together in Los Angeles. He runs the NHL alumni. He was in for a meeting with his whole team of people with the National Hockey League last week or the week before, and he said the same thing. They all got back. It was like 3 days. It seems like 3 days is whatever I talk to people. It's this food poisoning thing. So I didn't know this, but I thought maybe it was the flu. My youngest son, Cody, actually informed me, he's very knowledgeable, informed me that most times adults do not get, they don't, if they're throwing up and have diarrhea, that's not the flu. Adults don't do that. It's more of a kid's thing. So I didn't know that, but all right, let me see here. Let's get on this case here. The school wants her to retake it. My wife and I are freaking out about it. So I don't blame it. It's your daughter, but why the freak out about it though? You could say because it took so much like for her to do it. I'm assuming that's the case, and I don't blame you a bit if that's what it is. I know how much you love your family, so yeah, I don't blame you a bit. It's not. She worked hard and she went through. Again, it is stressful for kids now to anytime to go through a test like that, and then to have them come back and just casually say, "Oh, I lost it. You need to retake it." Well, no, you lost it. I agree with you. So you know what? It's up to you, Danny. If you want, we'll call out the school. We'll demand retribution. No, I didn't. I didn't know that was on, Barry. Actually, I was in the city last night. We had that dinner at Tao downtown. Um, uh, we were entertaining some Caesars patrons. Caesars is a big sponsor, obviously, the New York Rangers, Madison Square Garden, the Knicks. We had Latrell Sprewell, John Wallace, myself, and Colton Orr were there. John Wallace, he's the cool dude too, right? He's like that tall drink of water. Yeah, cool dude. Let me see, Susan Brooks here. I got food 2 nights before the Winter Classic, but there's the. I like that, Susan. Good job. Oh no, I was thinking that too. I was thinking just because I missed my last 2 days of my workouts of getting up because I thought, okay, I tried to be intelligent about it. Say, okay, Tom, don't be this stubborn guy. Get your sleep, get your rest. Your body needs that to recover. Yeah, but I was the same way. Just suck it up, go. I actually went Monday, did the full workout and everything, but I think I actually paid for that. That made it worse, but Susan's tough. Yeah, mind over matter. If you don't have a mind, it doesn't matter. Let me see here. The next event is Hershey next weekend. Very cool. I'm glad Craig Patrick's doing well. Great man. Really, like a really good person. Really good hockey man too. Like he was pretty brave when he went to Pittsburgh to hire Badger Bob Johnson and Scotty Bowman, because sometimes people don't want to hire those high level of people because the theory is, well, they're going to take my job. But Craig, again, to his credit, had enough confidence in himself to put that team together, and obviously had success winning cups there in Pittsburgh too. So, yeah, seriously, food poisoning. Why would I want to go into Larry Melnick's? Like food poisoning's got a good run, right? Food poisoning's probably been around. Food poisoning has probably been around for thousands of years. You know, if it went into Larry, in all likelihood, it's going to stop there, right? And then that whole chain of success is now over for food poisoning because it goes into Larry's body. So so now Larry is continuing on with his what do you call it? His mission of trying to get himself invited to the Ranger Golf Tournament. So, again, I can only do so much. I get constant emails. I do get the emails late at night, I think, too. So it's obviously a few PBRs involved in that. Okay, let me see here. Thoughts on the first day of the draft. Again, I was out last night. I read up on it this morning. It looks like it kind of went the way everybody thought, with Bedard being the first overall pick to Chicago, which is no surprise. He seems like a pretty impressive guy, like in the preparation. Because remember, he's 18 years old. And I don't how good you are, but like it seems like he's really embraced the whole. Okay, I understand the draft is just part of the process. Even if my first overall, his preparation seems like his conditioning, the maturity he seems to have at an 18-year-old. Because remember, include myself at 18 years old. Most guys at 18 years old are just mudheads, right? We haven't learned yet. We haven't experienced things, but he seems to, and I'm sure he's got good people around him that are teaching him things too. But he seems like he's got all the tools, skill-wise, his mentality, his professionalism, his maturity, and he will mature more too, right? I mean, he's still, again, we do have to remember he's 18 years old. So let me see. Let's see here. 2 days of missed workouts can turn into more if you're foolish. Yes, Danny. I mean, I see it here. It's like Danny's like trying to lecture me now. Like he's treating me like I can sense it. Maybe I'm being a little sensitive here because of my state of my body being drained, but I'm not thinking clearly. But did the Rangers get DeBoer in the draft? You know what? Great question. I think and it really is a great question, Ronnie. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. I just think that, when they draft the player, everybody says this is the guy we wanted, right? And they should. That's, depending on where you're drafted, if you're the 6th overall pick in the draft, you're not going to get Connor Bedard, right? He's going. So yeah, obviously everybody would say that Connor Bedard is the guy they want in the draft. There's no question about that. But I remember even like look at players like Mark Messier was drafted in the 2nd round. Well, I mean, yes, it was smart by Edmonton to draft him, but if they really knew he was going to be Mark Messier, they would have drafted him in the 1st round, right? And that's not anybody's fault. That's not it's really hard to. I guess what I'm getting at is it's really hard to tell. Who's really going to become that player? Again, you see like Sidney Crosby and then Connor McDavid and those guys and say, okay, you pretty much know who they're going to be. But there's other times too where other players that were first overall pick in the draft. I mean, Brian Lawton, who we've had on our podcast, great guy. He really, and admittedly, even for himself, he would say he didn't really become what everybody thought he was going to be. No, again, it's just so hard to tell with these young guys, the organization they go to, how much they mature, how much do they really want it? Because I've had players who were first round draft picks. It seemed like I had one player, I don't mind saying, great guy. His name is Brad Church. He was a first round draft pick of the Washington Capitals. Obviously a long time ago when I was representing players. And I thought he was going to be like another Cam Neely. But he was an overage player playing against younger kids. So he was 21 playing against kids that were 17, 18, 19. So he was pushing them around, intimidating them and everything. And then when he got to the National Hockey League, again, but he was almost too nice of a guy. He was not the Cam Neely, the crusher and banger and everything like that. He was like just a nice guy out there, which wasn't what they wanted. And obviously it didn't work out for him. So it's really hard to tell. So, yeah. Let me see here. Who is this guy that is making Larry? Let me see how I spell that. Melnyk. Larry Melnyk. I've heard that name before. I've heard of that person. Mr. Larry Melnyk. Hello, Mr. Tom, my friend. Mr. Tom. See how he he sets it up like he's taking control, like he's Larry Melnyk, and he's now lecturing me, right? Craig Patch, traded for me. If you eat the right foods, you won't get food. See, that's a true friend right there. I'm sorry I forgot who he was there temporarily, but I remember him now. But that's a good friend that really looks out for me, like gives me advice. Like some people would just say, "Oh, poor Tom." Well, he's giving me advice of how not to get food poisoning. It's brilliant. And to him to say, like, if you eat good foods, like that, who would have thought of that, right? If you eat the right foods, you won't get food poisoning. Like that's like brilliant. There's like who else would think that you need to eat the right food so you won't get food poisoning? And I'm sure he didn't read that someplace. I don't know if he can read. It's just that sure he just knew that. That was just information he knew that probably nobody else in the world knows. Let me see that again. If you eat the right foods, you won't get food poisoning. Oh, that's profound. It's like a Vince Lombardi quote, right? Like we should have a book of Larry Melnyk quotes. Man. Yes, you're correct, Danny. When it comes to the draft, everything you just don't know, right? I mean, you look at the numbers. And I forget what they are. Obviously, the first round draft picks is a higher percentage of players that play in the National Hockey League. And as you move down to the draft, like second round, third, like people like make these trades for like fourth round draft picks or fifth round draft picks. The percentage of kids that ever make that are fourth or fifth round draft picks is very slim, right? It's like I think it's in the teens or lower, like 10% or whatever. So I mean, listen, there are great players that have done it. Pavel Datsyuk, Zetterberg and Detroit are two guys come to mind. And there's been others, but most of the players just those mid-round draft picks. I mean, listen, you've got to take them. You've got them. And who knows how they turn out. But Henrik in the seventh round. Thank you, Susan. You're correct. Yep. Towns should be on the obvious picks. You never know what you're going to get. Yep. Totally. Yeah, it's true. And that's, again, remember, they're 18-year-old kids. And the maturity, the things that happen physically and mentally to a young man from 18 to 22 years old is huge. Those formative years there, you just don't know which direction they're going. Now, I do actually believe too that your player development, your ability to help that player develop physically and mentally once you've drafted them is huge. It's like it's open book, right? Now you can steer it in the same direction that you want it to go. So Larry's our 30-year scoreboards. My arm hurts. Okay, Tony, let's settle down a little bit. I mean, we say these things, but do we really mean this? I mean, look at his track record. I mean, I would set him up for coming in for the Ranger Golf Tournament. Was it last year? I went above and beyond. I mean, I had sleepless nights trying to get him in. And then thinking, okay, it's all going to get done. And then all of a sudden he pulls the plug on it. So, I mean, we love him. But to say he's number one in our hearts, I mean, there's some work to do. He could be. He's got the potential to be number one in our hearts, but we'll see. Just some work to do. Phil, how are you doing? You son of a gun, you. Let me see. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah. Craig is still kicking himself in the ass for trading for Mel. Oh, man. I didn't say it. That's Danny's opinion. Everybody's entitled to his opinion. I thought Danny and Larry were a little bit tighter than that, but I mean, at the same time, that's, again, somebody's opinion, right? Somebody's opinion. Let me see here. see where my quip is like just. I guess I put my finger in the right place. Oh, I've heard that before. Just remember, Thomas, when you trim the bushes, the tree stands taller. See, that's another thing. Look at that. I mean, this is the Larry Melnick quote day. Like profound. This is just a quote day. It's a profound quote day. Like making a difference in people's lives. Okay, let's read that. Just remember, Thomas, when you trim the bushes, the tree stands taller. Like, who knew? Who knew that? That's incredible. Oh, man. Yeah. Perry, those pictures from Tom's draft year? There would be no picture. Well, there'd be pictures from Tom's draft year, but I would not be in the pictures. So, that's right, Phil. Northern Michigan, right there, big guy. Great Lakes, Harvard of the Midwest. You got that right. Man, what a place to go for an education, Northern Michigan University. Man, look at us now. Look at us now, right, Phil? Unbelievable. Looks like Larry wants back on the podcast. I'd love to have him on. It's just am I getting him? I look back at my career and I was never really a talented player, but the coaches knew I was going to show up all the time, right? That was important. So they knew I'm not going to be the best defenseman, maybe not the second best defenseman, but I'm going to show up all the time. That's important. That's what I learned on the farm and everything. With Larry, it's just, maybe he shows up. And even if he does shows up, sometimes he's in that, temperamental superstar mode. So, let me see. As a keyboard warrior. Oh, Danny. I fear that Mel will show up at my house and throw me a beating. Well, there's potential that. He has been known to, lose control, lack of discipline, that kind of stuff. But let me see here. The great Barry Shelley, the magical one. The magical one from Cooperstown. Maybe. They were from the early 70s, and Clarence was still a commissioner. So I was drafted in 78, same year as Larry Melnick. Yeah. Larry Melnick and I. Can you imagine that we were drafted in the same year? We played together, like best friends forever, kind of thing. What a thrill that is. I never knew growing up that I would. And you know what? Again, it's important to really go over the Larry Melnick story, how he was, belittled and told he could never make it. He was going to be a Zamboni driver, all that kind of stuff. But he fought through it. Despite the fact that, he played in Edmonton when they won cups, books were written, and he wasn't included in the books. Like the only guy that played for the Oilers that never got included in the books. All the things that happened to him, losing his temper, throwing a skate at Bob McCammon's head, but continuing on with his career. That's like, it's inspirational. It's like, it's almost like Rudy from the movie, right? Where they, he's counted out. Nobody believed that he could do it. And all these bad things happened to him. He fights through it. Oh man, it keeps me going. I'll tell you that. The Larry Melnick story. I was going to bring up. Oh, have we had a show since the Titan imploded? I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories on that whole thing about the people on board. Actually, they even went back and talked about how when the Titanic sank, they wanted to have the World Bank. I think I'm saying this correctly. And JP Morgan and all these guys wanted the World Bank, but there was the guy that's the richest man in the world at the time. I can't remember his name, but he really opposed the World Bank. I think it was the World Bank. I believe that's correct. So he was on the Titanic, and JP Morgan and some other wealthy individuals who wanted the World Bank were on. Apparently, this is a story that they got off the Titanic right at the last minute. Then obviously Titanic sank, and right after that, the World Bank came to be. And again, I hope I'm correct on that with this World Bank. So let me see. I have tickets for helicopter rides over Hawaii. Let me see. Ron James, have tickets for helicopter rides over Hawaii volcanoes. See, I wouldn't mind that as much. Listen, you get in a helicopter, you get in a plane. There's always a risk that it's going to crash. But I think it's far less. Like to me, that whole idea, like the whole thing's with the Titan about getting into the ship. There's no hatch to open up. It's all screwed shut. You can't get out. You have to rely on somebody else to get. That would just drive me nuts. There's no way I'd go underneath the water doing that. But apparently, from what they're saying is when it imploded, they didn't even know what was going on. Apparently, it just had been imploded, and that was it for them. So, but again, the conspiracy. You listen to all these videos about how it was made of carbon fiber, and that you can't say, okay, carbon fiber is strong here in the first usage, and it's going to be the same way after the 7th or 8th or 9th time it's used. Apparently, that's the exact opposite. It weakens as time goes on, and although it may have survived those early ones, after a while, it weakens the carbon fiber, and that's how potentially the implosion happens. So, Virgin is taking space travel for a tourist launching a spaceship. You know how many top 10 picks in there? Do I know? Tom, do you know how many in the top 10 picks in the NHL? I do not know the number. I'm going to guess it's like at 8 in that range. Like those top 10 picks usually, and part of it is too, when a team picks a player in the top 10, I mean, obviously you hope he's good enough, but also there's a lot of pressure on that team to get him in the lineup, right? I mean, the scouts, the general manager have made the decision that these guys belong, and you have to give them you have to give them an opportunity to play. It's unfortunate sometimes for players that are farther down in the draft. Like they really have to do more to play in the NHL. Those first round draft picks are saying, listen, we invested a first round draft pick, especially a top 10 first round draft pick. We have to give this player every opportunity to play. So I'm going to go with 10. I don't know that number for sure, but okay. Danny's giving it to me here. Now he's turning now. Now he's turning. Tom using his D average knowledge to test us, to teach us. Oh God. D for dimples. Oh yeah. Right. See, I wonder what happens to Danny, right? So you think he starts off thinking, okay, this is great. Love this fun show. Tom's buddies with me and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember he testing this last week, but now he remembers, hey, but you know what? My family loves Tom better than me. So now he turns on me, right? D average knowledge. Oh, God, I can't believe that. Yeah, you know what? Not to get morbid like that too, but I do agree with that. I just think you have to live your life all out because I mean, we've talked about this before where I don't believe in a bucket list. Like to me, a bucket list is when somebody comes in, you really haven't been living the full life and somebody comes to say, listen, you're going to die of cancer or whatever in 6 months. So now you want to do all the things that you should have done before. I would rather say, listen, do all the things that you want to do. Yes, you're right. Who knows when you're going to die. And listen, I do all this fitness and health and everything. I'm not doing it so I can live longer. I'm living it so I can live a full life. I want to live it. So when I'm here, I'm living all out. I want to be able to do all the things I want to do physically. I'm 65 now. I don't want my body to stop working. So I feel like if I keep working it, it's going to keep working for me. So Ron Jameson, missing Melvins. Do you really miss them? Like you're just saying that, or listen, if you do, it's great. But yes, live life to the fullest. Absolutely. See here. Shout out to Domingo Germain. Yes, I saw that. Isn't it hockey that equates to that feat? Multiple shutouts, multiple hat tricks. So I had a client, Brian Boucher, who does a very good job on TV now. And when he had 5 continuous shutouts. So I would say that would be something that is similar. I mean, for him to do that, to have 5 shutouts, I mean, listen, he's a tremendously skilled player, but he even said it too. There's a certain amount of luck involved in that too, right? Things have to fall the right way. And I remember that was happening. You get 1, and you get 2, and you get 3, and you see think of the 3, like, wow, that's pretty good at 3. There's no way he's going to get more than that. And then he gets 4, and then he gets the 5th one. So I would say that's in that category. The thing similar to throwing a perfect game. That's incredible feat, right? Again, but both for the pitcher and for the people, the infielders or outfielders as well. To make so, because imagine the pressure that comes on, and like now, let's say it's a pop fly or something like that, and the guy's got a perfect game going on. You think, if I drop this, I'm screwing it up for him, right? So, Tom's a scholar. Deb, you know what? You're an incredible human being. Tom's a scholar of life, not classroom. That is very accurate. I like the way you put that. That's incredible, Susan. Or Deb, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep that one. I hope you don't mind if I use that because I like that a lot. Yeah. And the end is. I admire that in both ways. Listen, I think people that work hard in the classroom become successful. That's fantastic. But I also think that you get out in life, live life. Oh, good point. You know what, Danny? Good job. Hey, Tony, how's your wife feeling? Very nice. Good job, Danny. You know what? No matter how mean you are to me, I'm going to give you kudos on that one. So, let me see here. The answer from Tony. Knockwood, Danny. She's doing well. Finished chemo and next step radiation. She's a trooper and inspired me and my daughters unbelievably. Fantastic. That's good news. Listen, Tony, if we can ever help, get on the phone, call with her, and inspire her. It sounds like she doesn't really need it, but if she does, love to help in any way we can. But that's great news. You seem like you're a fantastic. You have a fantastic family, and obviously you and your wife are leading that family. So good job. Great call, Danny, too, reaching out there. God, you're a good man. I hate to admit it, but you are really a good man. Yeah, I guess so, Barry, in a way. So if anybody doesn't know the Gordie Howe hat trick, getting a fight, a goal, and assist. Because that's really the game that Gordie Howe played, that tough guy that could also score and set up plays. I don't know the exact number, but I heard the Gordie Howe hat trick thing is a little bit of a myth, that he really didn't do it that often. I think he only did like 2 or 3 times or something. He didn't do it all the time. I don't know if we'd right up there with that. I don't know with hockey. There's one thing, like a goalie getting a shutout. Again, that's one game. I don't know, but it's a great feat. But yeah, the Gordie Howe hat trick. I didn't know that. Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was far fewer Gordie Howe got than I actually thought he did. Because I thought it was because of Gordie Howe. The way he played seemed like he would have gotten a lot of those too. Oh, hold on. Let's stop the presses. Well, who is here? Tracy Marie is back in the house. Oh, what a breath of fresh air, right? Tracy, I hope I helped you there when I sent you that message about the woman teaching pooping. I know you're interested in that. So, hold on. Another one's here too. Ira, why are you late? Like, I'd go out of my way. You're the one who was complaining all the time about not having the show on a consistent basis. So I said, okay, I'm going to, set my world around being here at 10 o'clock on Thursday for everybody here, including Ira. And then I'm late. There's no, like, why you're late? Would you have like food poisoning or something? You had to poop or what? Oh, yes. Hi, Tracy. Great to see you again. Oh my God. So Tracy, we do need to ask though, where were you? I heard a rumor that you were on vacation. Apparently they do have internet in other places that you can use. That's what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. There isn't internet just where I live, or just where Barry lives, or just where Deb lives, or we wish there was no internet where Ira lives, but unfortunately there is. Okay, so no explanation. It's just it won't happen again. Okay, Tracy Marie. Wow. She changed her picture there to Home Sweet Home. Oh, that's so cute. What? Oh, great question. There's a good question by you. Now, here's the thing. So when you've got food poisoning and you're trying to use one ply, I mean, that's you're pretty much assured of the fact that you're going to have to wash your hands after that, because that just doesn't work. So it's 2-ply for me. Again, you got to figure when you've got food poisoning and you're spending a lot of time sitting on that toilet, and you got to take care of things. You can't have a lot of chafing and everything. So I think it's important to have the 2-ply. Showering, eat regularly. Oh God, I hate getting sick. God, it's that mental part too. It's like, how can I possibly be getting sick? But then again, you know what? What comes from the positive thing is that Larry Melnick comes up with this beautiful, like life-changing quote where he says, "You need to eat good foods, and you won't get sick." And I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but that's the positive thing comes from getting sick, that you get a person of Larry Melnick's category, his category of person that he can come up with a gem like that. To change people's lives. Like, you think about it. So basically I sacrifice many calories, my head in the toilet, sitting on the toilet and everything like that, so other people can prosper, because we have people like Larry Melnick that can step up and make a difference in people's lives like that. Yeah, incredible. You see here, Barry Shelley has done some research. Although he played a record 2,421 professional hockey games, Gordie Howe himself only achieved 2. Yeah. I was surprised when I heard that, because that's what he thought it was the Gordie Howe. But I mean, I think it was more that's the way he played, so you assume that's how it would go. So, what did I don't know if I should tell this joke or not, but I saw a joke online the other day. All right, so I'll tell it. It's like, how does a blind person know when to stop when does a blind person know when to stop wiping? Let me see. Ron Jameson, where are we not eating next Sunday? At Tommy Cafe. Yeah, I've been negligent. So we had the show on Sunday, Father's Day Sunday, the cooking show got, I had gone through and videoed, recorded most of the process of cooking show. My sons came over with my furry grandson, and the tequila got flowing a little bit, and we were having a little bit of fun, and forgot to video the final product. And later on, I realized, well, I can't do much about it now. All the food's been eaten. So that's what happened. Then actually, this Sunday, I was at the Pride Parade in the city, so couldn't get it done either. So this Sunday, special meal today. Special meal. Why can't we find turkeys anywhere other than when it's Christmas or Thanksgiving? And even Christmas is tough. It seems like it's just Thanksgiving. Like, isn't turkey being? Why is it not? Is there some prejudice towards turkeys or something? I can't get it. Why don't they say so? They sell chickens all the time? Why would you sell turkeys? But yes, Deb. Without getting too graphic, yeah. And at the bottom end, it was like it's Niagara Falls coming out of there. Oh my God! I didn't know where all the liquid is coming from. Oh God. Oh God. I don't see any capitalized letters. I don't see any multiple vowels there. She's not back in the game yet. I think she's out of practice, right? Can you see it, guys? Yeah. Like, that's not okay. That's okay. It's like a preseason comment for Tracy Marie. She's clearly not back in the swing of things because we don't have those multiple letters. Okay. See, Barry? Barry's on top of that too. You're right. Writing down that quote, please. Yeah, that's one of those things. People should do that, right? Yeah, like get a magnet made out of it or something like that. Still, Jesus, I'm not anymore. No, I'm not. There's nothing left in there. No, they're not, Tracy. Don't tell me that. They're not. I've got a Stop and Shop, Costco. I've asked around. If you can tell me where turkeys are, you go find the turkeys for me. They're just not. It just doesn't happen. Why should I just pick your nose and wonder why you're sick? I didn't pick my nose. That was the finger rubbing on the outside of the nose. It's a standard practice. It's a big difference, all right? They're going in there and digging. Remember, you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose, all right? Oh, yeah, there's none. There's none. None left. Nope. Cleanse. That's a great cleanse, I'll tell you. What a way to cleanse the body. Wouldn't recommend it, but man, it does the trick when you're all done. Okay, prove it to me, Tracy Marie. Okay. I have done my research. I've looked around this area, totally everywhere. Stop and Shop, like I said, Costco. I've asked people. Just they're not there. And there's something going on. Like, why would you not sell turkeys? Okay, a little bit better. Okay, she's getting back in the game a little bit. She's coming back with a couple of jabs. Yep, I was on Survivor. I actually watched it the other day. It shows how bored I was. I was sitting around, pooping and everything. So I watched the old Survivor show I was on. Man, that was a blast. That was a good time. Didn't know Tracy Marie at the time, so I do. One of my favorite stories, like people want to know about what it's like to poop on Survivor. Oh yeah, I know I've told you guys the story. So last night we were at this event at Tao downtown, and people there. I think the wives, when I start to tell the story, more laugh because they can't believe I'm telling the story. So, let me see. Let me see here. Bag of turkey in your neck of the woods. Oh, Danny, come on. 2 wild turkeys in Greenwich, Connecticut. Good point, Deb. Good point. I have not gone to a deli. You're right. There's a deli called, it's in Rybrook, New York. God, what's the name of it? They're big Ranger fans too. That's terrible. I forgot the name. I've been there a while. I'll see if they have it. So you have lots now. Mashed potatoes. What? What's that wrong? So you have lots now, not mashed potatoes. Huh. I've got to figure that one out. Well, yeah. Tracy, that's some newsflash for you? Come on. Give it the program. Come on. Logs. Lots now. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Yeah, there's no logs right now. There might be a few days before we get back to logs. Okay, I'm rubbing my nose on the outside. Okay. Oh God. Did Larry ever see you break a stick over your head? Just don't let him do it himself with a golf club. No, I don't know if anybody is. So that was up in Marquette, Michigan, where I broke the stick over my head. I guess it was also at summer camp for the kids too, where I did it during the week. So I don't know if anybody can remember. That'd be funny if somebody says, "Yeah, I was at the game when you did that." I do remember the referee came to me after too, and he said to me, "Listen, I should have given you a game misconduct." He says, "But I just couldn't believe you were doing it." And I was in shock. So yes. It is funny. Somebody was asking about the people that were from Vancouver finishing up this documentary that I'm a part of about mental health. So we're sitting around chatting one day, telling little stories of some of the stuff we did in the past. And like, we had, I don't know if I should tell this. Well, we had, so what's the weather like here today? Oh, so so Canadians are still givers. They're giving the smoke down to the U.S. here. When he goes off air, Tom's shoving a finger. What, Danny? I'm not even putting that up on the screen. What is wrong with you? I wouldn't do that because it would offend Tracy. That's why. Because I care about Tracy's feelings here. We know she's a delicate little flower. So, let me see. I was at NMU right after Lades left. Legendary stories. I told you I went back months ago now, maybe 6 months ago, back up to Marquette, Michigan, Northern Michigan, and made two presentations. One at this alternative high school, and then the same day up at Northern Michigan University, where my former coach Rick Comley is now the athletic director. And it was so funny because I knew it was going to happen, but as soon as I saw him, I started to cringe because I'm thinking. And I said to him, I apologize. And he started telling me some stories that we did that I didn't remember, which made it even worse. Oh, God, yeah. Well, I guess legendary is the right way to put him. Yes, Deb. Yes, Tracy. Yes, we care. Yes. Oh, there is the multiple letters. I missed that too, the multiple vowels. Oh, look at that. Oh, ha. I think it's like ha, like a growl, like ha. Or is it like, but if it was like ha ha, there'd be another H in there someplace. So it's like ha. It's almost like derogatory, like sure you care, right? That's how I read it. James Patrick. So I left him a message the other day. I'm sure he's got a lot going on. I don't know what's going on with him. I said, listen, whenever you get a chance to get back to me, that's fine. I have not heard back from him. So maybe something's going on that he really can't talk about. That's usually, and that's the right way to handle it too. If he calls me and tells me, then obviously now I know he's going to trust it. I hope he trusts me and I don't say anything, but if he doesn't have a job now, if they move on, and that may be the case, not that he isn't good enough as a coach, but very often when somebody hires a new team, they're going to want their own guy in there, but maybe not. You just never know. Maybe that's part of why they wanted to buy the team, that he was there. So. Let's see. Hey Tom, where can we see the Full Change? We don't. So that Full Change podcast is just a audio podcast, like a lot of. So you can find it on all the podcast platforms, like Apple and all those places. We do post clips from the video, and maybe at some point we could post the video itself. So it's all recorded. So these shows, obviously, that I do are live. We do the Full Change podcast that is recorded. We edit, add music to it, advertising, all that. So that's why that's done that way. So, they didn't know you read. Okay, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. That's too bad. But James is a quality person and a quality coach. He'll get another job. I mean, to have the team that's been as good as, and he's been a part of that. Obviously, you have to have good players that. Over the last few years to have that good of a team. Again, it's not, I don't view it as a reflection on him. It's more of a reflection that a new person comes in, is owning the team, moving it, and he wants his people in there. I'm sure that the person that hired it, that bought the team, already had somebody in mind that they wanted as a coach. So, okay. But Barry is saying that he's still listed, which both could be true. They may just still have him listed there, but he's been told that he's not coming back. But, well, if you got here on time, you'd know this, but there is no update right now. I saw Gresh the other day he was up in Winnipeg, actually, with, I think it was his sister and his brother-in-law had an anniversary. So he and his family were up there celebrating that. And I saw them getting out of the car the other day. okay, Tracy's back. Look at, she's using the multiple vowels again. Oh man, this is inspiring. It's like in the old days when I played, like the older players would come back into camp, they'd be out of shape and they'd work themselves back in shape. It's kind of where Tracy's at. Like the first few comments you made, you could tell she wasn't prepared. There was no, she hadn't done her homework. She didn't practice with the multiple vowels, and now she's getting back into it now. So it's good to see. Yeah, listen, I admire it's not a negative thing. It's a positive that she's recognized that she wasn't doing her job properly, and now she's picked it up. So I don't feel like I was picking on Ira. I felt like, he's a friend of mine and he needs guidance, right? Like I teach, people hire me to mentor particularly young men. And one of the things we teach them is like getting up early in the morning. So, say you get up 7 a.m, get up 7 o'clock every morning. Don't be random. Like we can't have Ira being random in his life. He's worked hard to get his fitness in shape so he doesn't have to use all the medications he was on. And that has to continue. You can't work hard and then all of a sudden let it drop off, right? So let me see here. Tom talked about, he got Larry into the national miniature. Oh, that's pretty good. Very nice. Well done. Well, okay. I'll be careful how I phrase this. Okay. So obviously I won't even get into details which dog it was, but I was approached by the owner of one of the dogs, and it was a tearful presentation that she has been having some family issues and apologized. And she said she's doing her best, but and once she explained the family issues, then I was like, I actually volunteered to help her family. Once she explained to me, I felt bad about it. It's just that I also explained that I didn't realize this before. So geographically, I'm planted right in the middle of probably like 6 dogs circling around me in this location. So it's we had a great talk. Understood the situation. She understood my situation, and the barking continues. I didn't. It's like I struck a nerve here. Wow, I felt like that was a compliment. I was coming from a place of support, saying that like the old players, like great old players like Phil Esposito would come into camp out of shape. So that's like you're like a Phil Esposito of the podcast world, and you've worked yourself back into shape. So, hold on here. Oh gosh, here we go. Oh, and then like this. Oh, this is awful. Like this is a love fest here. Tom, you should give Pepper a kiss. I don't think I could get near Pepper. It's like my old wives. Like they'd be barking at me all the time. How am I going to give him a kiss? Right? Same thing with Pepper. Barking at me all the time. I'm going to kiss him. It's part of the issue. Got a lot better once we got divorced. So maybe I'll divorce Pepper. I have some kind of a ceremony where I divorce him and we get along better. Can't understand that. Oh, God, it's a great life. Okay, so just a little update. Seems like everything's bound up here now. The waterfall coming out of my rear end is slowed down. We're eating solid foods now, hydrating. Oh, God, here we go. Like, here's what Tracy's trying to do, right? She's trying to take the show and make it all about her. Like, she's saying hi to everybody, and so everybody's concentrating on, okay, who's Tracy talking to? And oh yeah, constantly dinner pepper steak. No, we're going to find a turkey because Tracy tells me that there's turkeys out there. Now, see, here's the thing, the difference. So Tracy guarantees me that there's turkeys out there. Doesn't tell me where to go get it. Whereas Deb doesn't guarantee it. She says, go to a deli, right? So solutions, right? That's what Deb comes up with, solutions. Tracy's about more being derogatory towards me, saying that I'm wrong. What? Things are being misinterpreted here, clearly. Man, that's just not right. But it gave it, Tracy, do I need to point out where you're lacking here in that statement? Right? There's no accentuation of anything. There's no multiple vowels. Like I would have gone with the jackass word, JACKAASS, like something to really accentuate it. Oh, come on, guys. You guys are all. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Oh, my goodness. All right, Deb. Thank you. I'm going to go. Actually, I'm going to the deli when I get done here. You know, what is it? It's Thursday. Maybe too early to go get the turkey. I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll call there. There we go. There we go. How's Jackie? Oh man, that's like Jackie. Like they probably mouth's going like this. Jackie, like really like disdain. Why would you have disdain towards Jackie? Because she does her job trying to get people in, like Larry Melnick. I don't know, Tracy. We don't want sliced turkey. I want to make the turkey in the oven. The smell, the stuffing, the homemade gravy, the mashed potatoes, the whole bit. That's what I want to do for the Sunday dinner. So actually, that's going to have to start early in the morning. So I guess I'll go Saturday, see if I can find a turkey. I'll call around. See, that's efficiency right there. Call around. I'll call every place. I'll even call maybe Home Depot has turkeys for some reason. Maybe give them away. Yeah, no kidding, right, Barry? What started as a love fest has turned around fast. Yeah, really, right? Thank you, Barry, for pointing that out. And I'm doing my best to continue on and have this be the love fest that I wanted it to be. But somebody, and I won't mention who it was, is now back on the show and has turned it into something different, right? I don't know who that person is, but Jackie for PG, Jackass for PG 13. There you go. There you go. Yes. I'll call Army Surplus. Call everywhere, right? I agree with you, Ron. Leave no stone unturned. We'll call fish shops and see if they have turkeys. Let me see. Long Island side. I do not know. I do not know what I do not know. I don't know. A lot of my things come up last minute. So again, we had this dinner in the city at Tao downtown. Great place. That was a fun spot. That was last minute. That didn't come to me till Tuesday. So that's because there was some stuff they planned in advance for me, like when we had the Escape with the Greats at Chelsea Piers. That's planned in advance. But a lot of stuff, they come to me last minute. Stu Leonard's, good call by Tony Long. Oh yes, I've never been in a Stu Leonard's. You know that? Never have I been in a Stu Leonard's. I'm so loyal to Costco, but Costco doesn't have turkeys, so. I mean, I don't know what to say, Barry. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, you can't hide it. Oh, really? See, Deb there's the solution one. There's the one that comes with solutions right there. Young turkey for $80. Was it gold inlays in it or something like that? Wow. Yes, August 19th, I believe, is that Swim Across the Hudson for the Navy SEALs. Well, it isn't just limited to Navy SEALs. It started by Navy SEAls, but yep, great event. I told people before, listen, if you want to go over to Liberty State Park in New Jersey and see like their opening ceremonies, it's fantastic. And then even in Lower Manhattan, if you want to stay over there when they get out of the water, and then the ceremony they have there is fantastic too. So great event. Proud to be a part of it. Our buddy Mark Vink plays a big role in that, setting it up. Bill Brown, the retired Navy SEAL, leads it up. He's a pretty inspirational guy too. So, let me see. I'll get you a frozen turkey if you were able to interact out of the hours of 11:31. We would be in business. Oh, so I must admit that I've learned that I do need to have a little Tommy time. So like, especially if it's been a busy day or whatever, there's certain, later on in the day, it's like, okay, Tom, like you need some Tommy time. Bill Brown's birthday is today. I did not know that. Barry, thank you. Barry, we got some people here that like are fountain of knowledge. Barry Shelley, Deb, and then there's other people who just, condemn and, I don't know, like pick on. And I don't know, it's just different styles, right? Everybody's got different styles. So, oh, goodness. Yeah, it's all about Tom time. Well, no, Deb. Tracy, it's not all about Tom time, but everybody has to, take care of themselves. And it's like the old, I use the adage, whatever you call it's. So when you get on an airplane, they tell you, if there's a crash and the airbags go, you got to put the mask on yourself first so you can help other people. If you're passed out, you just can't help other people. It's the same thing in your life. If you're not healthy as yourself, then you can't help other people. So you got to take care of yourself. that an adage or is that a analogy? Analogy. Is that what that is? Yes. Well, okay, hold on, Ron. What? We still love you. What? I mean, still. What's all that about? What's the still in there for? Oh. Barry's on a roll. He's butter today. Barry is butter. He's on a roll. Changing lower barrel food Tom's time. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. That's not a bad idea at all. Sorry, Danny. Well, because Danny, the problem is that like you're a moving target. It's like you go from being knowledgeable to like just ripping into me. So it's like it's hard to tell who I'm getting, right? But I do apologize if I hurt your feelings, but do you really want me to tell a story again? I'm assuming most people remember that story, but we'll throw it in there. No, see, we're having fun. So Herb Brooks was coaching. So it's probably like my second year in the league, and we're at Madison Square Garden. We're playing terrible, and we have a TV timeout, and Herb is just ripping into us. And so I'm on the ice, and I'm looking at Herb. So obviously, if I'm looking at Herb, I can see the people in the lower bowl behind him. But I'm trying to concentrate on Herb because he's losing his mind. It's one of those times where you're just playing awful, and he's just ripping into us. Now, being a young male, I can also notice out of the corner of my eye, the periphery, this attractive woman walking down the stairs towards our bench. I'm assuming going to her seats, her expensive seats in the lower bowl, fur coat, dressed perfectly, looking great. And she's staring at me, or at least in my mind, she's staring at me. And I think in the end, as I tell the story, you'll understand why she was staring at me. And so I'm trying to pay attention to Herb. And some of the guys start to notice what's happening. They're watching me look, not at her, but looking behind. So they're looking behind and saying, "Oh God, good job, Tom." So she gets down to the glass and she starts leaning forward. I'm thinking like she's going to try to give me her phone number. I'm thinking, you can't do that now. Herb will kill me. I'm trying to pay attention. And she gets down to the glass. She bangs on the glass. She goes, "Laidlaw, you suck. You're terrible." So that's Ira's favorite story. Let me see here. Okay, Danny's sucking up here. Tracy Marie is the full change. What? How is Tracy Marie the full change? What? God, Danny, you are such a man. We need to talk. We need to sit down, have a big hug, and have a conversation. Are you sure it was a woman? Could be. Could be Larry dressed up and drag. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, I was at that Pride Parade. There's a lot of that stuff going on. And nothing wrong with it at all. Larry would have been, and as typical, Larry would have been ahead of his time because that was like 1982, 83, something like that. So that could be, Larry, because again, he is known for being ahead of his time. I mean, who else? I mean, he's ahead of time with men wearing skinny jeans and, and even he's kind of retro a little bit, like drinking PBRs. Like most people don't drink PBRs anymore. Oh yeah. Oh yes, they were. Were the players on the ice bench aware of the Carol Alt chance? Oh yes, they were. I mean, you couldn't help it. Like she was very strategic. She would wait for the stoppage of play. She would get up. She'd go up to the old garden. There was between the lower bowl and the upper bowl. There was a walkway. She just walk around. Everybody's hooting and hollering. She'd go sit back down in her seat, accomplish their mission, and that was it. So yes, you had no choice but to know what was going on there. So that was the '80s at Madison Square Garden. Oh, what a great place! Totally different building now, but still, I mean, either way. I mean, the noise in the building now or then, especially in a playoff game, was huge. So, all right, so I just, we're getting close to the end of the show. It doesn't necessarily have to be the end of the show, but I really got the sense today that, there's something like, there's people like, remember like Sean Avery, he'd come to the Rangers and like, he was that larger than life personality. What's it like in the locker room being with Sean? Like Tracy Marie's kind of the same way, right? We got a group of us, we're having fun. We're helping each other. And then Tracy comes in and you don't really know for sure. Like, is she with us? Is she against us? Is she some kind of a plant for some other show? Maybe like the Joe Rogan show or something like that. Is she trying to, I was told by somebody when we traded for one player, a goaltender, that the team that traded that player to us knew that he was a, bad locker room guy and that he would ruin our locker room. So that's why they did that. So is that the case with Tracy? Again, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't want to stir the pot. Just giving options. Ira. Tracy is a rock star. See, that could be one of the options. That's who she actually is. She should be a rock star that's sent down from the heavens to help us with the show, right? That could be the case. Although okay, I'm with you guys. Listen, I made sure I was throwing things out there, options. Tracy holds us all together, and notice now, like she's Tracy's a sweetheart discusses. And where has she gone? Like, listen, it's a 60-minute game. Now where it's like for the last 5 minutes, she hasn't showed up. That's my concern, right? It's the same old Larry Melnick thing where just you can't count on her to be there all the time. So I don't know where she went. She left now. Tracy is the yin to your yang. You think so? Deb, you know how I feel about you. I have total respect for you. So if you say that, I will take that and say, okay, let's go. All right. It's painful sometimes, right? But I guess now that I know, what's going on, like what her motivation is and everything, then you can accept it. Sometimes, man, it's, sometimes I get off the show and I have to go take a nap, kind of have nightmares and cold sweats and everything. Some of the things she said to me. So, but I guess that's the price you have to pay. So, all right, everybody. If you got anything else you want to cover, I'm in no hurry to go anywhere. I've got the rest of the day that's kind of free. I don't have to poop anymore right now. That cycle of every 15 minutes has stopped, so we've got some time here. I bet, I swear to God to you, I bet you I lost 20 pounds. 20 pounds in 3 days. Not maybe not 20, maybe 10. But man, that was funny stuff. I was actually thinking of you guys, we knew to go do the show on Thursday. This worked out perfect. I started Monday morning, kind of ended, Wednesday night. Felt good going to the event last night. I was kind of worried going, taking the ride down. It was like an hour and 10-minute drive. Got an Uber, and I'm thinking, okay, let's time this out properly, right? Let's make sure you visit the men's room before you leave, and then then you're sweating a little bit. You're feeling any kind of grumbling in your stomach, and all you think, oh God, here it goes. But all set, we're good. I think they actually said like the ginger tea really put it over the top. So thanks, Deb. I know you care. So when you say stuff like that, I know that's for real. There's other people on the show that when they say that kind of stuff, I don't know if that's really certainty or not. There you go. The Mean Green Fighting Machine. Yes. Northern Michigan. Although I was a little green on Monday and Tuesday, I think, too. All right, everybody. It's great to see everybody again. I hope we never trust. Yes, Barry. Hold on. That's a good point. Here's another gem, too. Right there. There's a gem. Never trust a fart. Yeah. When you get the flu or food poisoning, do not trust a fart. Yeah. Let me see here. The pearls of wisdom from Myra Matthews. Sorry you had a shit. See, because there it is. Like, do you really see what Deb says something? Glad you are feeling better, right? That's what she says. So you can tell that's from the heart. And Iris throws this out here. You're sorry you had a shitty. So he really wasn't, right? Like, he's just trying to make a joke using me to try to, like, be funny in it, like the shitty week stuff. So, all right, everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday morning with Mark Puttenvik. We've got another. Actually, I met a train conductor on the Metro North train. Great guy. He's has fantastic personality. So we hit it off, start talking. He's a trainer in Manhattan. So we're going to try to get him on next week at some point. He's got a great personality, fun guy, very knowledgeable about fitness and everything. Again, then we will be recording some more Full Change podcast. Again, very happy with the progress of the Full Change podcast. We've got, remember, I don't know a lot of people remember Elvis Stoico, a figure skater from Canada. We're going to be recording him next Wednesday. We're hopefully got some other people. We're going to break away a little bit, try to get away from some athletes and do some very successful business people and talk about how they've changed their lives along the way. So that actually recorded on Wednesday as well. So everybody, Full Change podcast, please go listen. You can find it on any podcast platform. Subscribe, comment, all those things. Very proud of that show. So this is the pearls of wisdom that have coming out here today. It's just phenomenal. Here's one for Barry. Super glue your butt together. Yeah, then we'll get that done right away. Try a cork. Man, unbelievable. Like this show today probably more than any other show that we've had, maybe more than any show that's ever been recorded or played live from anybody, including Joe, has been so informative. Some of the lessons we've learned here. Oh my God. It was more like weak shit. Oh, Tony, that's just not right. And Tony, if you want me to get on the phone with your wife, sounds like she's a strong person herself, but we can help in any way. I'd love to do that. So everybody have a great weekend. We will see you next Monday. Again, please go to Full Change Podcast. I hope you enjoy those shows. So everybody have a great weekend. Talk to you. Bye.